Hello, 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 hello. Good afternoon. How are you? Hope we're having a great afternoon. Thank you for taking time off from whatever your busy day looks like to just join us here live. So great to have you. If you can see me clearly and you can hear me audibly, please say something so I know you're there. Wave, say hi. It's a cool, calm afternoon here in the city of Abuja, Nigeria. And it's a great time to have fun and learn together. Thank you for joining live. I can see a few of us. Dwayne, Max Lino, thank you for joining live. Auntie Olama, how are you? Good to see you. Thank you for joining live. Just waiting for a few guys to come on in and we'll take it from there. We have a very interesting topic today, yes. And it's all in line with the future of work. As you all know, I've been running a current advocacy for the past almost 2 months, talking about the future of work, the skills needed for the next level, and so many other things. And today we'll be taking another very important topic that I've been getting requests, inboxes. People have been asking me, when are you going to talk about this? Please do address these issues for us. If you're here, you can see me clearly, you can hear me audibly. Please say something so I know you're here. Say hello, say hi, so that I can go on. My name is Folake Agumbiade. If you're joining us for the very first time, I'm a management consultant, an industrial psychologist, the customer seductress, the author of the book Customer Seduction. I wear quite so many caps, the convener of the future of work community. And today we'll be talking about how to seduce your customers, even in the midst of social distancing, regardless of social distancing. Because one of the challenges that most entrepreneurs, most businesses, most brands are currently facing is, how do I keep my customers interested in my brand, especially if I do not offer essential services. Now, a lot of industries have been, Gideon, good to see you live. Thank you for saying hi. A lot of organizations, brands that do not offer essential services have been hit drastically by this pandemic and the new normal that we're currently experiencing due to the COVID-19 crisis. But I have news for you. Regardless of the fact that some industries are not thriving, Bola Shoduke, good to see you live. It is still very possible and it is still relevant for you to seek and attract and retain your customers, regardless of this pandemic. Social distancing, like I always say, does not mean emotional distancing. A lot of us are dealing with this crisis by shutting down mentally, physically, emotionally, and in every rally, if there's a word like that, towards our customers. I'll start from the very beginning. Who is a customer? Customer is anyone and everyone who exchange value for money. A customer is anyone and everyone who you exchange value for money. So it's important that you take it seriously and you nurture the relationships you have with them. as a customer experience, customer service, customer seduction expert, I would like to take you through a few tips that you need to have and you need to be incorporating into your business communication with your customers in this period that will keep them being seduced. What is seduction in customer seduction? Customer seduction is the ability to charm and to with a group of persons in your business transactions. So, if you are not seducing your customers during this lockdown, what you're doing is that you're not just social distancing from them, you're emotionally distancing yourself from them. And that is a disaster waiting to happen. TP Jawu, I can see you. Thank you for joining live. Toby's Schwaibo, I see you. Thank you for joining live. Lizzie, good to see you. Please, this is a good time to share this feed. Let's get as many people onto this live stream today. Let's get them here. Let's get them engaging. Let's share the nuggets that we'll be leaving in today's class with. I'm a bit muted today. For those of you who know me, I could be quite animated in my videos. I had, how will I put it? I had a slight issue this morning with one of my investments, and it kind of threw me off balance. But guess what? You guys are my customers. You are the one I interact with on certain days of the week. And I had promised I was going to come on live today to talk about seducing your customers even in a lockdown. Now, let's first of all examine why it's important to stay emotionally connected to your customers even in this crisis that we're going through. Oyejide Timothy, good to see you. Please, let's click the share button. Let's start a watch party. Let's get as many people on board for today's class. Now, a huge part of maintaining customer relationships is creating positive customer experiences. There is no seduction without emotional connections. Yes. You can never forget the first person you fell in love with, your first love. Yeah. You can never forget certain people who at various times created emotional positive responses in your lives, experiences that have shaped who you are today. That is how important emotional connections are. And who best to have emotional connections with than your customers? Because the reason why a person buys from your brand or your business is because they are connected not just to your product or your service, but to you. Yes. Every brand has a personality. Every business has a personality. If you are running a business or a brand and your brand does not have a personality, then you are in serious trouble. Yeah. You must have a personality. As a psychologist, one of the key things that makes people relate to you, especially to those who are in the class of the sanguines, is that we are known as people persons. Your brand should have an emotional personality if you are going to succeed in the act of seduction. And that emotional personality has to come with, yes, enthusiasm, which is an observable high level of energy. I'm trying to get my energy level up. I was shown off by some events earlier in the day, and I'm trying to get it up. But that's a huge part of what creates positive emotions. So, if in this lockdown you have not reached out to any of your customers, you have not sent communications in various forms, either by text messaging, by social media, by emails, by calls, which is even the most personal form of communication you can ever use to show your customers that you have vested in them, then you have not done well. What you have done is that you have shut down an emotional connection. And it's crucial. Shokwe says emotional connection is key. Very true. Kingsley Udoka, thank you for joining. Olawale Joshua, I can see you. Oyelade Florence, I can see you. Thank you for joining. Moshapeluyemi, my sister from another mother. Becky, good to see you. Esther Chinsa, good to see you. Sarah Igbima Cole, I can see you. Please click the share button. Let's get quite a number of us here this afternoon. So, check what your communication has been over the past 2 months and the period of this crisis with your customers and your clients. Has it in any way been emotional? Have you appealed to the current crisis that they are going through? Have you shown empathy? Have you shown them that beyond taking their money, you care about them? You can't be taking my money to the bank and you can't take a little bit of time and resources to reach out to me in the middle of a crisis. Then what you have done is that you have failed to seduce your customers. Guess what? New customers are the hardest things on this side of the earth to find currently because conversion rates are really low. Yes, converting new customers to buy from your brand in the middle of this crisis is gonna take a lot of energy because people are skeptical towards spending and making expenses. They would rather stay with the comfortable confines of business engagements and communities that they have built with existing brands. So if you are not careful and you don't care for all your customers with the right communication. Now, when I say communication, this is also a time to look at the kind of communication that you have been engaging with your customers. You might need to change it. You might need to do a short video. You might need to send a video message that has you as the CEO reaching out to your teeming customers and telling them how much you have missed doing business with them. Encouraging them to stay safe. Assuring them of your best regards. And if possible, if as a brand you can do anything to make this time better for them in terms of freebies, if you're in the educational industry, what you could do is to give out free videos, give out free books, give out free links, give out free trainings, give out free products. If you can afford them as a brand, this is the best time to give and not to take. Because the best way to always create an emotional connection, no matter your temperament, no matter your love language, there is still a measure of giving in creating emotional connections. And giving does not always mean monetary value. It does not always mean products. It includes time. If your love language is giving of gifts, of course, it means they will be expecting freebies for you. So look at the 5 love languages. All your customers probably have 1 or 2 of these languages. And begin to implement your communication to cover those needs in the middle of this crisis. For some, it is quality time. That means they'll be expecting a text message, a video message. They'll be expecting tips or stuff from you that would show that you are connected to them as a brand, as a business, as a product, as a service. Beyond you just asking for their money. Give out something. For some of them, their love language is acts of service. You for various, some of them would actually respond to some of those requests to say if there's anything we could do to make it better for you during this crisis. And you get responses in that area. Try your best to be empathetic and do what you can to use the love languages to seduce your customers during this crisis. Victor Agbaye, I can see you. Thank you for joining. Larry Doe, thank you for joining. Franca Joyce, the actress herself. Good to see you. Bello, good to see you. How you doing? So don't just focus on getting customers in the middle of this crisis and forget your loyal customers. They are the major group of people that make sure you stay in business after this crisis. Don't forget them. Don't forget them. Use the 5 love languages. Adapt your communication style to the 5 love languages and approach them with empathy. Love is a doing word. It's not just a taking word. Love is a verb. It's an action word. So if you want your customers falling in love with you and being loyal to you, even in the midst of this crisis, taking out of their savings to make investments in your brand, you also must be bringing something to the table beyond products and services. When you offer products and services, what you're doing is transacting. You have not even done customer service. When you put value-added opportunities to it, that is when you are giving customer service. When you create emotional, positive, memorable experiences, that is when you're giving customer experience. And when you top it up with doing things that they don't even expect or see coming, or they don't even imagine they even needed, that is when you are doing customer seduction. So, my question, take an audit of the past 2 months. Have you seduced your customers recently? Like this song that says, "What have you done for me lately?" Ooh, yeah. If you're not doing something for your customers in this lockdown, you are so wrong. You must be doing something. If you want to take, you have to give. Giving is a huge part of surviving the ecosystem of this pandemic. And part of that giving is looking at your products and services and dump prices. If you're an entrepreneur, you're looking at me right now, this is a good time, especially if you are in my side of the industry and you're offering services, it is a good time to dump prices. My trainees usually go for 25,000, 20,000. Currently, my trainees go for as low as 2,500 naira. Because I'm committed to giving back. You can't always take from a customer. You have to give to nurture a relationship. Very important. You can't always be taking. It's a give and take. And customers that fall in love with you always want to tell the world about you. So that's the fastest way to attract new customers. Rather than spending so much money on ads alone, ads are a huge part of getting a sales funnel at this point in time. A huge part of getting a sales funnel is running ads. But the challenge is the conversion rate of the sales funnel is very low for people who have not tasted your brand or have not interacted with your business or your product. But you can imagine when a referral is coming from a customer that you have loved up on, most likely you will attract new customers. Our learning weekend this is the third batch of the future of work class that we're having. And the new people we're having on board are from referrals. I put up posts daily. We have adverts running, but majority of the people who come on our community is based on referrals. People who have used the product and are still being supported by the system. Yes, still being supported by the system emotionally. A lot of times, love is based on emotional connections. So I'll round off with a question that I need you to think about. Sit down, go to the strategic table, brainstorm. How do I communicate the 5 love languages to my customers and seduce them in the midst of this crisis? How? Because your loyal existing customers will take you to the next level. Amateur Gift, please do share. Please do share. This is a good time to click the share button. Let's share this, let's share this, let's share this. Let's get a lot of people into the feed. Oluwafunke, I can see you. Victor Abaye, I can see you. Bello says, good to be here. Thank you for coming in. Gifts, thank you for coming in. Please do share. Kunle Lanre Lania, thank you for joining live. Ime Ibang, good to see you. You need to be doing the right things if you're going to come out of this lockdown. And if you're going to stay productive, you need to have the resilience to bounce back from the adversity that you're facing. Don't go into an emotional coma. Don't keep your office locked and your customers at bay. Because finding new ones when this lockdown is over is going to weigh a lot on you, financially, emotionally, physically, and in all ramifications. So why don't you keep seducing your customers, even in the midst of this lockdown? I have to run, but before I go, our learning weekend starts tomorrow on the Future of Work community. That is the place where we give you the awakening your mind needs to be productive in the midst of this crisis. We have guys who are doing awesome stuff. People have broken down their business model and started from scratch and have started making money even in the midst of this lockdown, just with the right information. So you need to register to be in any of those classes. We have 3 classes. Tomorrow we have the Future of Work, 3rd batch. 3 sets of graduates have gone. This is the 3rd batch of people who will be going through the Future of Work class. So don't get it twisted. You need to be in that class. Register. If you go on my Facebook page, you'll find details on how to register. Share this information with a friend. On Thursday, we'll be managing your human resources during and after COVID-19. That is a class you don't want to miss. If peradventure you're a CEO, you manage teams, you manage groups of people, you need to be in that class. Then on Saturday, we have emotional and social intelligence. You cannot be existing in these times, in this new normal, without emotional intelligence. It's the new intelligence. In fact, it's a huge part of what makes you successful. 80% of your success as a brand, as a business, as a person is tied to your EI and your SI. Your intelligence is just 20%. So looking forward to seeing you in class. My name is Folake Agumbiade. I am the customer seductress, management consultant, industrial psychologist, and human resource specialist. Till I come to your faces one more time on Thursday, have a great day and keep being productive, regardless of this lockdown.